as I mentioned earlier when we talked about Spider-Man Miles Morales,
Mhm.
and as a part of that, I finally caught up on all my Spider-Man comics that I hadn't read.
Nice.
So that I now have an excuse to not read them 40. I'm like, well, I caught up a little bit. But as part of that, I've been reading a lot of Spider-Man, playing a lot of Spider-Man, just constant. So I was like, you know what? Although they're all pretty well known, I have not done many character profiles on Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery.
No, we haven't.
No, and I decided let's rectify that a little bit. So we're starting with the Rhino. The Rhino, aka Alek Ziech. He's
Nailed it.
Russian.
Nailed it.
I saw that name and I was so lost. I even tried to get like the
Google Translate to read it out.
pronunciation, no, like the
Oh,
pronunciation, like
yeah.
the lines, and I've still managed to kind of do it wrong. Anyway, he first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man number 41 in July 66.
Oh, nice.
So like he is an OG,
Hmm.
as I'm pretty sure most people probably would have guessed.
Yeah.
Alexei was a thug in the mafia, but he always dreamed of more. And as a result of that, he eventually agreed to be a subject to chemical and radiation treatments to become a super soldier for a collective of Russian spies.
Ah, the classic.
Yeah. And as part of these treatments, he also had a super suit based on a rhino's hide, permanently bonded to his skin.
Lovely.
Yeah. Um, and the Rhino is an unstoppable force. Like he can't be stopped, even if he wants to. Once he starts charging, he can't change direction. He can't stop. It is I'm going until I hit something now. Um, and that kind of flaw, as well as his lack of intelligence, made him a foe that Spider-Man, as long as he's careful, can relatively easily deal with.
Yeah. As soon as he dodges.
Yeah. So he has been released from his suit a number of times. Initially, it was due to a special acid that was created with the help of Dr. Kurt Connors that kind of ate through the suit.
Okay.
But then he just got given a bigger, better suit that dealt with the issues. And that's all that really happens. Every kind of 15-ish years, they find a way to get him out of his new suit just to make it stronger and more
Yeah.
powerful. But because of his lack of intelligence of any real level, he's often been used as a pawn by more intelligent villains or even criminal syndicates.
Right.
Because he's a big, dangerous guy that's going to cause lots of damage. Dr. Otto Octavius is just like, yeah, I need you to go do this, go run at stuff, and while he's doing that, I'm going to go commit a more important crime.
Yeah. Easy
Um,
distraction.
yeah, which makes him. I think that's kind of why he's become such a staple of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. He gets to be used pretty regularly,
Mm.
and it's always a good fight because of how dangerous he is. But he never has to be the main guy. He can be the main guy, but he's also a very good supervillain to have as like a top tier henchman, especially in comic books when like most arcs are like 3 or 4 issues long.
Yeah.
You can dedicate an entire issue to just an awesome fight with Rhino. Um,
Oh, yeah.
this has resulted in him, due to his pure strength, being part of the Savage Six, not the Sinister Six.
Oh.
Although I think he has been part of the Sinister Six. But he's been
Ah.
part of the Savage Six, as well as Fisk's Thunderbolts.
Oh. Yeah.
He was also a police officer when Wilson Fisk was mayor.
Interesting choice of police
Well, I
officer.
mean, Fisk has always been pretty like obvious about the fact he's corrupt. So
Yeah.
he kind of pardoned Rhino and then made him a police officer. And he was kind of like, I've helped rehabilitate this dangerous villain.
Did they put a blue flashing light on his horn?
I like to think so. The really interesting thing, and I have actually read this comic, is that after Mayor Fisk was taken down,
Mm.
the pardon for Rhino didn't get undone. So he was still an innocent. He was still a free man.
Oh,
Um, so he was. I mean, he was chemically bonded into a rhino suit. He's still pretty limited, but he wasn't actively getting in trouble for a little while. Um, until he had a spat with Spider-Man Miles Morales is
oh,
Spider-Man. In which Miles attacked him. Um, because he thought he was committing a robbery, but in fact the Rhino was trying to stop the robbery
oh shit.
because the people committing the robbery had also been kidnapping children, including the Rhino's niece.
Ah,
So
okay.
then there was a really cool couple of issues where Rhino, Miles, and then Captain America teamed up
Oh,
to save his niece from Tombstone's thugs, who was working with the Snatcher,
oh shit.
which was really cool.
Yeah.
Rhino didn't go to prison at the end because he didn't do anything wrong. He was helping Captain America and Spider-Man. And it was actually quite nice to see a more human side of Rhino. Yeah, he still was a bit dense, but he was like, I just want to get this child I care about back. I'm not going to
Yeah.
fight you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm asking for your help, actually.
Hmm.
And it was also nice to see Miles get to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for um, everyone.
Yeah.
Ironically, Alexei is also a gambling buddy of Gambit.
Like it.
However, Gambit has been very clear that he doesn't gamble with him when he's like actively wanted.
Yeah. When I could get caught being with him,
Yeah, yeah.
I keep my
Um,
distance.
and Gambit, on a number of occasions, has tried to help him get out of his life of crime.
Oh,
So there we go. Rhino's a really interesting character.
yeah.
I would
A lot more to him than I thought.
I would love to see him done really well in live action, which is something I feel we've been robbed of so far. We
Yeah.
got to see the big mechanical one at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Or it was end of Amazing Spider-Man. Because it was part of the tease for
Yeah.
that, and then he was going to be in Amazing Spider-Man 3, I
Hmm.
think. Um,
But yeah, we didn't get like
yeah, I would love
OG Rhino.
even if it's like very highly CGI, but just done quite well.
Well, yeah, they
And they
could
just
do
get
like
like,
a very cool, more of an exosuit than a full-on Rhino mech.
yeah, no, I don't want it to be robotic. I want it to be like someone who's been trapped in a rhino suit.
Yeah, I think you could get away with some. Like, there's definitely nowadays they could do that well.
Yeah, 100%. Like, think like Thanos vibes with like high quality motion capture with a good
Mm,
actor
yeah,
and some good CGI. I think it would be a really cool thing to see. And with his brute strength, I think for Tom Holland, or even if we do get a Miles Morales, it could be a
mm,
really good villain for them to have to try and overcome.
yeah, I agree.
Um, and that is all I have to say on Rhino. And that brings us on to, for the first time in a little while here, new content.
Yeah, I know. It's been It's been like a
It
month.
has. It has.
Month. It's
Um,
been at least a month since we've
yeah.
had anything new.
No, we had something in December. We had
Guardians of
Guardians
the
of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy
Oh yeah,
Christmas special.
true, true, true.
I think it is 3 weeks of
Oof.
podcast where we've not had new content.
It's the longest break I think
And
we had of the whole year.
yeah,
Well,
or
other than
I
the
don't know.
beginning.
Yeah, other than the beginning.